Alright, hello, welcome back to another video on this channel. If you haven't watched the last two videos, this is my friend Tejas, who's recently moved to Adelaide, Australia in Feb 2025.
Correct, yes.
We initially met through this YouTube channel where he reached out to me, and then we've been in contact ever since. Saying that if you have any questions, if you have any doubts or want a perspective about Adelaide, about Australia in general, feel free to reach out anywhere here. He's pursuing masters in data science, so if you have any questions about that particular course or about starting a new life in Australia, you can reach out to him as well. I've linked his Instagram in the description below. But this video is going to be all about finances, money, expenses, income, everything in the first couple of months, and generally as well how you should bring your money, how much money should you bring, and what the situation is like nowadays. So I'll start off with the question: how did you bring your initial sum of money to Australia from India?
So I got my Forex from Thomas Cook. So it's a Forex company in India, and they are a tourist company as well. So I basically just got like about $3,000 with me, in which $2,000 was in a Forex card and $1,000 was cash.
Cash. Yeah.
So ideally, it's not recommended to get a lot of cash because there's a good chance that you might lose it, misplace it, or get stolen from.
Yeah.
So,
and it'll always be in the back of your head.
Correct. You'll always be thinking about it, always be checking on it, and that kind of is not good.
Yeah.
So it's just better to get it in a card, because if you lose the card, the money just nobody's going to take your money. You can just block the card and get another card. So so that was what I would recommend. Yeah.
And what was the conversion fee like? Did you have to pay any amount, or was it according to the pay rates on Google for your particular case?
So it's never the pay rates on Google basically. So the Google rates are just what the market rates are. But again, all of these companies do end up earning a little bit of money, so they have to earn some money, right? So they're going to charge it. They're going to sell it at a little premium price. So for me, when I saw it was, I think 53 was the Google price, but I paid 54 something for that. Okay, and I got this on the Study Buddy card. So it's a Study Buddy card by Thomas Cook. So basically, it's a card that gives you some sort of lounge access, a free SIM, eSIM. The lounge access is basically when you like spend more than, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 USD, or you load it in the card. That's when you get that that provision. But I didn't do so much. I just needed the card. I didn't bother about lounge access and stuff. I just needed my money to be secure. And then I got a free eSIM for the first few days. So that's a good thing. For free, you're getting an eSIM for the first few days, so that you can, contact your parents and, navigate locally. That as well. So I did that. So that is what I did. And the rates were pretty genuine, I would say. Thomas Cook is a pretty trusted partner. You can use Ebix Cash as well. That's another company that's there in India.
Ebix Cash.
Or there's a lot of them. Don't go to the local traders and stuff. Just go to the standardized ones which trade normally. And you can get your currency there.
Personally, through my experience, I got an HDFC Forex card, because we had accounts with HDFC.
Yes.
Did you research about any other players? Yes. Would you recommend these sort of banks?
Nope. I wouldn't recommend all these banks because I feel that, for example, if the rate was 53, they might charge you even 55. Because banks have the tendency to charge a little more. Nothing against them. It's just that they have a certain rates that they have to follow. They have to book their profits as well. So that's how it's. But so you might just get it from something like Thomas Cook or an Ebix Cash, like he mentioned. So that will be a better option if you ask me.
And what all did you have to provide them with to get this Forex card? Your visa, your offer letter. What was it like?
So they asked me for my passport. They asked me for my visa. So since Australia provides a number-based visa that's on a paper, so they couldn't really confirm it on my passport. So they had me to basically can do all of this online and get it to your house, the currency. But I had to visit the branch and show them the visa, and they had to verify my passport. That there's no
check and all
Vivo
of that.
Check and all those stuff. And then they just check your visa, then they just check your passport and your flight tickets. One-way booked flight tickets is mandatory. Without that, nobody's going to give you I won't say nobody, but the major players won't give you their currency because of the strict rules in India for Forex trading and stuff. So you just got to show these, and then you finalize the rate, you pay them, and they give you the whatever is required. That's it.
And going back, would you have brought more, less, the same?
I would say a little more, because current you see the reality in Adelaide. It's really hard to get a part-time job. So if I had a little more, it would have been a little bit like better, because in the first month your expenses are obviously going to be high because you're moving to a new place. For example, you might have a lot of unexpected costs.
We'll go into that later.
So it's better to bring more. That's what I would say.
No. And what about your friends, acquaintances? How many, how much, what is the range that they got? Are there any other sources that they brought it through? Maybe they have some relatives, friends here.
Yes. So a lot of my friends who came with me got the same amount of money, anything between $2,000 to $3,000 or $3,000 to $4,000, I would say. And I have a few friends who have their relatives who live in Adelaide, or Australia, some part of Australia, who basically like either they came, took it through cash and put it in their accounts, or probably created an account and they gave their details to their relatives and who put the money for them on behalf of the parents. That as well happens. So that's what I've observed.
Got it. Coming on to the first initial expenses that you made.
Yes.
A lot of one question a lot of people have is that if you're making any expense or any transactions through your Forex account, is there any surcharge that you have to go through, and even for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents?
I mean, it depends again. So it's on two sides of the coin. So so basically, if you're withdrawing the money, there will be a surcharge, not a surcharge, a fees.
Okay.
So basically, there's X amount of free withdrawals. Again, it's very variable for every card. Every card has its own terms and conditions. For example, the Thomas Cook card, the Ebix Cash card which I had a restriction of 3 free withdrawals per month. So that was pretty good. So first 3 withdrawals is going to be free from Ebix Cash, but the bank here is going to charge the money. So that was the criteria.
So basically, what he means is that if you're transacting through an Ebix Cash card, but transacting on a Combank ATM, for example, the Combank ATM the fees will still be there, but there will be no fees from Ebix Cash.
Correct. That's the thing, and I don't think there's any POS related. Basically, when I say POS, it's like the tap payments and stuff. There's no any surcharge unless and until there's any surcharge on the machine itself. There's no any surcharge from the Forex guys. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Got it. And for people who everybody expects, and that's a general notion, stereotype as well, that get a certain sum of money that most probably will be from your parents, and then everything else, your living costs and everything, you'll be able to manage through your part-time job. But if that's not the case, do you feel it's better for your parents or your family members or whoever is funding your studies to load up your Forex cash or to remit it through to your Australian bank?
See, I would say Forex is good for the initial run, like for the first 1 month, first few weeks. It's pretty good to have a Forex, because if you're directly trying to remit money from back home India, that is, it takes about like a day or two for the money to hit your bank account. So sometimes you will have these immediate expenses that you need it immediately, but you don't have the money. That might be a problem. So a little bit money on the Forex card is good, but you can always ask your parents to remit it from the bank. Again, it's a little expensive, but it's better because you can take it whenever you need it. So that's the thing.
Got it. Now coming on to the first initial expenses as a student. A lot of it are planned, a lot of it are unplanned.
Correct.
Planned, like your SIM card, the bond that you have to pay to your accommodation.
Yes.
And that can be either private rental or the landlord, whoever you're talking to. The first couple of weeks of rent, your standard costs for setting yourself up when it comes to groceries, bed sheets, etc., etc.
Yes.
So what were the ranges like for you?
So in terms of like my bond was standard, that was around 500. Like it was 2 weeks rent, so that came up to around $500
Yeah.
So like I said, I was prepared. I got enough money on my Forex card, so I just tapped and paid that. And then I had like initial $400 of expenses in terms of groceries, and groceries was not a lot. I would say like $100 at max for to start out. And then, for example, I had to get a lot of these toiletries and basically the basic cutleries and all those different aspects. So those were, I just went to Kmart. I got the cheapest stuff.
Yeah.
So all in all, 500. So totally around $1,000, including that, and then a rent another $1,000. So 2,000 should be fine to start out with.
Yeah.
Yep.
So would you recommend people to get these sort of things like cutlery, utilities from India, or get it from here?
It's better you don't get it from there, because as you know, there's a lot of weight restrictions, right? I think for me it was 45, but most of the cases it's going to be 25, 30 at max. So when you have 30 kgs, how much can you get? Because your jeans pant is almost like 300
Yeah.
400 grams, buddy, so you might as well just leave it all there.
Yeah.
You can get everything here. If you go to an Indian store, you get all the metal stuff, because some of the Indians are used to eating in metal
Yeah,
plates
yeah.
and metal glasses, drinking
Yeah.
and stuff. So you get those in the Indian stores, but if you want the ceramic ones, you can just go to Kmart and you get it for a pretty good deal, I would say.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
And coming off the topic of essentials, and then the lifestyle, you want to try new foods, you want to go out with your friends, you want to party. What were those expenses like? Any recommendations, any advice for people who might be for whom Australia might be the first country that they're traveling to?
Correct.
And they might get overwhelmed.
Yes. So
Purely from a financial perspective.
Financial perspective, if you ask me, best thing, don't spend too much. Don't spend on things that you don't need for the first 2 months. It's not advisable, because you don't know what's coming for you in the next few days. So it's might as well just keep that money for something better.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's always encourageable, like to trust, try new stuff, try new food, and explore the why not party and stuff. But I would recommend not doing it for the first 2 months. Save your money. Maybe when you get a part-time job, that is like, if you get lucky, you might get it early as well. If not, maybe after 2-3 months you might get a job. Then start spending it on all these things, because then you'll be secured. I believe. Yes. Yeah.
Any other unexpected expenses that you weren't ready for that came up and had to be made?
Not that I can remember of. Again, it's basically like basic, cutlery and stuff. Nothing else apart from that. Because sometimes you might just remember, oh, I don't have this. I need to go purchase it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, simple.
And when it comes to, again, going back to the topic of Forex, then would you recommend to spend that amount as soon as possible? And then what if you're still getting remittance from your home country, for then your parents or whoever is funding your studies to then remit it to your Australian bank account? Is that your recommendation?
No. Just again, spend mindfully. If it's needed, spend. If it's not needed, you can. Like I said, these Forex cards have a provision where you can have the first 2 or 3 withdrawals free. Again, please do check whatever the card terms and conditions before you follow anything.
Yeah.
So just check that out, and then if you have it, you can just withdraw it and put it in an Australian account, because on Forex cards you don't earn a lot of interest. You don't earn any interest, matter of fact. The Forex company earns the interest, not you.
Yeah.
So you might as well withdraw that money and add it to your Australian account. So I have Combank, so they give me around like a savers account where you can just save your money.
Yeah.
You can just put your money there so that it can earn some bit of interest.
Yeah.
So that would be the recommendation. But if it's not possible, Forex card is good. But yeah, you can always ask your parents to remit money back home. Yeah.
And last question, university fee. So I'm aware that you would have already made the payment for the first semester.
Yes.
When second semester hits, and most probably the current working restrictions, you can only work 48 hours a fortnight, so you won't be able to fund your second semester fee.
Correct.
How do you go about that? Do you get remittance from India?
Yes.
What do you plan to do? So is it better through Forex? Is it better through Remittance?
So in my case, I have taken up education loan. So my parents are not funding my education, but it's the loan. So basically how it works is you can basically directly ask your bank to transfer the money to the university.
Okay.
Or you can ask them to transfer it to your account and then pay to the university, but not to get it to a Forex card, because some of the times these Forex card might have a surcharge that when you say your fees might be $20,000, $18,000. Another $1,000 as your $500 is a fee. That's going to be bad. So you might as well get that in a bank account and save up a lot of money. Or you can just directly transfer it to the uni as well. That's also a provision that some unis do love. So yeah.
And for that to happen, do you then have to send your bank the invoice, the subjects you've selected? How does that work?
No. It's again very subjective to bank. My loan is from Credella. So they don't care. They just care about you paying back them the loan. So you just get the money. The money is there. I have another account in our account which has the money. I just tell them, they send it to me and I pay. That's it. So some banks might ask. I don't know how the other banks work. Wrong person to ask that. But yeah, in my case, they don't care. You just got to be paying them the loan back on time. That's all they care about. Yeah.
All right. So that was a little bit about the expenses, the finance perspective for a new international student. From the accommodation search stage, paying the bond, paying the rent, to essentials, to then also making the payment for your university fee. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comments below or reach out anywhere here. I'll be more than happy to send either voice notes or get on a one-on-one call with you.
Cool.
Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.